Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. And peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. Starting up with the 144,000, which should be the ruling governing body in the kingdom of heaven, which the 144,000 would consist of all men, right? You also have a lot of elect here in America, which is a lot of the 1/3, which should be believers, which will be men, women, and children that will be saved. 2/3 of our people will be destroyed in this place called America, right? You also have the rebels that are scattered abroad that will be destroyed. You have the elect that are scattered abroad in different countries that will be saved, right? Of you Israelites, of who the world calls black, Hispanic, Native American, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Jamaican, Haitian, amongst the Panamanians. You are all the Israelites, contrary to popular belief that you are not, right? I'm basically coming back at y'all with another quick video from End Time Headlines. I'm your brother Yeremia. It says growing number of Americans are financing groceries with buy now, pay later loans. That's how you know it's bad. You know, them days of, Babylon being great, living it up, right? Them days are over, man. Them days are over, Let me get Ecclesiastes 12 really quick. I remember doing a video, I don't know how long ago this was, probably was like almost a year ago. But I remember doing a video. Basically, I think it was like the title was like labeled something to the effect of fast food has become a luxury or something. So it just kind of made me think of that because I'm doing a video on people basically taking out loans to pay for food. That's crazy. How you gonna keep up if you keep struggling to pay for groceries and stuff? You pay for groceries in this kingdom every week, pretty much. How you gonna pay any other bill? Because you're going to be stuck paying, you're going to be paying multiple bills on top of what you're already paying for your groceries because you're taking out loans. This place is done, man. It is done, right? It's Ecclesiastes 12 verse 1. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, right? You Jakes, you Israelites, now is the time to repent, seek Yahweh Shem Yahushai, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And that time is going to come when all hell is going to break loose, right? You ain't going to be able to just go to your house and go home and, sleep. There's going to be a time where you're going to have to be worried about people kicking in your door, because they want food, right? We going to come to them times, right? You're going to have to worry about people trying to take your daughter, take your wife. You ain't going to be able to just live comfortably. The scriptures said, soon we're going to have to live as pilgrims upon earth, right? It says, while the sun or the light or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return to the rain. Those are lights in the sky. In the spiritual meaning, that means, rather you can get this knowledge, now's the time. It hasn't been darkened yet. It hasn't been hid yet. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders shall cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. And that windows, looking out the windows, represents people looking into the future. They don't see none, right? They don't see any, right? And it all goes back to the rulership, of this place, right? People are mourning, right? It goes back to the ruler, which Yahweh Shem Yahushai is in control of everything, But the scriptures tell you. In Proverbs 29:2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people will rejoice, but when the wicked bear the rule, the people mourn. So, when people find out how they've been lied to, that they've been duped, and they just find out they can't make it. Because it's going to get to that point to where people when they don't have nothing to lose, they going to lose it. If people are doing that, it's bad. It's bad. But it ain't bad yet because, like I said, all hell ain't broke loose yet. People still do have jobs. People still go to work and do whatever it is they have to do. People still do that stuff, but everybody's not doing that. right? But it's gonna take for people to get mad, start rioting, and people not going to work, and things not being normal for it to get that bad. Where people are breaking into stores, taking food, and that's happening everywhere. It's gonna get this bad real quick, and it could happen in a matter of weeks everywhere with these tariffs, right? And we waiting for it, man. We are waiting for it. Your money is not gonna save you, right? Literally, if you can barely afford to even eat, what do you think that money is gonna do for your salvation? For you Jakes that you might have more than the average Jake. Why do you think that's gonna matter to the Lord in that day? That ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter, right? A lot of you people, man. What does it say? Cast your silver. This is in the scriptures, man. Let me see. Everybody said cast your gold. Let me see. There's another one I'm trying to get. I believe it's in Ezekiel. Salakia. Yep, Ezekiel 7 and 19. And it reads, it says, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. Right? They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their mouths. Right? They're not going to be able to get food. Right? It's going to get to the point to where that money, it's going to be completely worthless. It's already pretty much worthless now, but, it's going to get to the point to where, hey, everything you get, your whole money is going to have to go to your food. You ain't going to be able to pay for nothing else. Lights, Wi-Fi, phone, none of that. You ain't gonna be able to do none of that. What you gonna start doing? In order to keep your house, people gonna start stealing. People gonna start robbing, killing. All that's gonna happen. All this coming down the pipe, right? Because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. The Lord's putting a spirit of terror on this place, chaos. The scriptures tell you, what is that? Jeremiah. Let me see. Where it says, this place had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. Let me see. It might be 51. Now, this is talking about the nations being mad, but, so I ain't gonna get that one. But America has had their glory days, and the people have had their glory days, and they're gonna see what the other end of the stick is like. They're gonna see. Very soon. Right? A lot of people are about to starve. And they're gonna bring in what do you call it? They're gonna bring in the CBD system, right? They're gonna offer people certain benefits and certain perks that comes with you sacrificing your morals in order for you to keep your standard of living that you have now that's already low, that's already not doing you much good. They're crashing this economy on purpose. Like I said, when people wake up and find out, it's gonna be terrible, man. It ain't gonna get better. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse and worse. That's why the scriptures tell us to in Matthew 6 and 18, let me get that. Matthew 6 and 18 just came to my head. Let's see. Verse 19, it says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, right? Where moth and rust doeth corrupt, where thieves do break through and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, right? Cherish, following Yahweh Shem Shah, keeping his commandments. Don't cherish the things on this earth. Don't go after, things, on this earthly realm and think that that's going to save you. They ain't going to save you, man. They ain't going to save you at all. But following the ways of Yahweh Shem Shah is what's going to save you. And that's what we do here, this truth, man. We follow the ways of Yahweh Shem Shah. And, we put our lives on the line for this thing, man. We ain't stocking up on no food. We ain't worried about, the day-to-day stress of Babylon. Let these 2/3 I'll say not Americans, but 2/3 Jakes worry about that. And the wicked, the people out here, let them worry about these things, man. We're gonna have to let go of this all anyway. The scriptures tell you in 2nd Esdras 14. Let me see. 2nd Esdras 14. In verse 14 it says, "Let go from the immortal thoughts and cast away the burdens of man and put off the weak nature and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee and haste to flee from these times." Right? So, hey, don't worry about the things that's now. Right? All this is going to be gone really soon, man. That's why we're going to have to depend on Yahweh Shem Shah. And we are already doing that. We are already prepping spiritually now. These people, they not doing it. Especially Jake. Jake is lost. Jake is lost. But I just want to do a quick video on this, man. Hey, them shelves about to be empty, man. I believe that. That's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. Speaking as a man. I believe that for sure. People are down bad, man. They gonna do anything it takes to get that comfort back. This shit ain't gonna work very long. People gonna get tired of doing this, feeling like, they can't get by. People gonna start uprising. But I hope this video was edifying. I'm gonna close out. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. I want to say, Abad, Babal, Shalom.